The Joy of Food Cookery programme is held in various locations throughout Thetford for both adults and children. It is all about cooking for health and eating for pleasure. We have joined some of the children who benefited from one of the sessions and who wanted to gain skills and confidence in cooking.
Okay, basically we're going to make a peach, mango, coconut and a bit of oaty crumble. Okay, and what we're going to make with that, once that's in the oven, we're going to make our own custard. Okay, has anyone ever made their own custard before with eggs?
The Joy of Food brings any learner that wants to cook the ability to understand ingredients, why they're in a recipe, to follow a very basic recipe, but mainly to get the knife skills, some hygiene skills, safety around the kitchen, but also to feed themselves and hopefully on a low budget and quite healthily.
Fruit and vegetables come in lots of different forms. You can either have it fresh, you can have it tinned, you can have it frozen, or you can have it dried. If it's in syrup, it's got added sugar into the product. Everyone knows that if we have too much sugar, that our bodies won't burn off. Basically, it gets your fat, your arteries clog up, and then what will you have?
At the session today, we've actually operated at the Academy in Thetford. We've had a mixture of boys and girls of all age ranges within the school. It's really vital that anyone who has really competent at cooking or even never come into a kitchen before.
The pupils have just had so much out of it, because without projects, without after school clubs like this, the majority of the students in this class wouldn't be cooking. They're not pupils who are able to bring their ingredients regularly to classes. They only have 10 weeks of food with me a year if they're in Key Stage 3. And in Key Stage 4, unless they take it for GCSE, currently there's no other option for them to do cooking.
So, okay, everyone can see that this takes quite a while, so you might want to do a little bit, then give it to your partner, do a little bit, you know.
Each learner on the course, we try to portray messages, the key change for life messages. So for instance, for today, when we were completing the programme, we used tinned fruits. So it all formed part of the 5 a day. It doesn't matter whether it's fresh, dried, frozen or tinned. We also talk about portion sizes, so it's using the palm of our hands as a portion guide.
So what we're going to do is we've poured it onto our top. Now, if you like a light crumble, you just dab it down nicely, but I quite like a crunchy crumble. Right?
My involvement with other projects is predominantly the allotment project, which is run in part by Mahesh Pant, who runs the Grow Your Own project in Norwich. And our project that we're doing here works mainly with Key Stage 3 pupils. We've been running it since last January, and this year it's really kind of taken off. So we've expanded the allotment. We now have an outside area to my classroom where we can work. We've got raised flower beds. We've introduced composting. We're now composting in classes, and basically really incorporating the growing part into our school curriculum. Cooking most definitely is a skill for life, because without the ability to cook, you don't have the ability to look after yourself, to look after your family, to look after others, but also to interact with other people. And I keep saying about it being a social experience, but cooking and eating is so linked in with socialising and social etiquette and life skills. The ability to be able to shop for yourself is so important. So many children are completely daunted by the prospect, and adults, by the prospect of going into a supermarket, having to know what goes with what, how to work out the cost, what meals can you get out of these ingredients. You can't overestimate how important your health is. And if they can cook for themselves, then they've got the best shot at a healthy life. And then they can go out and enjoy the life that they deserve, really. The main success has been seeing those pupils working in an environment which they wouldn't choose to normally stay in school after school hours. They're now choosing to stay in school after school hours so that they can cook, so that they can work with pupils they would never normally socialise. All the pupils today quite quickly chose to work in pairs. Again, that's something that some pupils would never normally do on a day-to-day basis. Outside, huge successes in terms of having children who first stepped outside and said, I'm not touching that, it's dirty. I'm not eating that, it's muddy. And are now looking forward to their lessons on the allotment. They're looking forward to going outside and working with Mahesh and growing something, and they're coming inside with the biggest smiles, like they found buried treasure when they were harvesting their potatoes.
All right, when we're stirring, we stir all the way around the edge to the corners and into the middle. Okay, all the way around the edge into the middle. Because otherwise, Exactly, it would stick and it would be horrible to get off.
The Joy of Food programme works closely with the Thetford Healthy Towns project on a new venture, Workplace Health. We work with workplaces that want their staff to change, and we go in and talk about messages about healthy eating, what's in your lunchbox, and healthy snacking. We try to make it quite light because most of the events are held at lunchtime and people don't want to be bogged down with very nutritional talk and all this jargon. We try doing light messages at those events.
I think Thetford Healthy Towns, and particularly the Joy of Food project, is trying to encourage children and adults as well to change their lives through cooking and eating, and to change every aspect of their lifestyle through cooking and eating to make their lives more successful.